Hi, my name is Liselotte Lyngso. I'm a futurist and a partner at the company Future Navigator. I would like you to have an anti-crisis strategy for your company or organization. And I have been enabling businesses to do that by spotting the future for almost 20 years now. It's about predicting what kind of waves are really going to transform my business, and then it's starting to train for it. And very often these days, your real competitors is not happening within your own business, it's happening from the outside world. Just look at the media, the newspaper. Their big challenges are not other newspapers, it's the digital generation and their way of searching for information themselves. And that's why for the next 10 minutes or so, I would like to introduce you to how do you do this? Well, the first question to ask is, right, the future is coming, but when is it coming? Well, when I started as a futurist 20 years ago, it was very easy because the future took a long time to arrive. It was arriving in this nice and slow curve. For instance, we had mobile phones, and then people still went into a phone booth in order to have their conversations for quite a while. And then it took even longer for the smartphone to arrive. These days, you read about instant payment on the mobile phone one day, and the next day it's already implemented, and the next day the business model of NGOs have completely changed, because when they start to collect money, you can't say, oh, I don't have any coins in my pocket. They say, well, you can just pay via your mobile phone. So it's changing very quickly. We call it the shark tail model. It's happening so fast, and very fast as well. A new product has a tendency to leave businesses again. So one of the skills of working as a futurist is really understanding, well, is this a cloud-based new technology? Then it's going to happen very fast. Or is it something that demands a lot of new infrastructure, a lot of new buildings? Well, then it might happen slow. It's also a regulatory question. So, for instance, we have the drone coming up everywhere, and then it's going to take a little while before we really understand how could that transform business models. For instance, you might have problems in getting the ambulances around the whole country. Well, could you imagine having the drone ambulance to a place near you soon?
112 operator, what is your emergency?
It's my dad. I think he had a heart attack. Please help. He's not breathing anymore.
Please stay calm. What's your name?
Joanna.
Good, Joanna. We've got your location. The ambulance drone is on its way. Remove his top shirt to uncover his torso.
Okay.
Great. Can you go to the nearest exit? The ambulance drone is almost there.
Okay. I'm outside.
I'll be talking through the drone now, so you can put down the phone. Now please pick up the drone and bring it to your father. Okay, pull the green lid. Now place the pads on your father's chest. Good, I can see that the pads are properly applied. Joanna, please stay clear of your father. We'll take it from here.
So basically, how do you work as a futurist? You have to be a little bit like a whale. You have to go deeper and deeper. So it's not just a new technology. You have to ask yourself, and then what? And then it's what's going to happen. For instance, these glasses that allow you to look 360 degrees around, I couldn't really understand how is that going to be useful except from gaming. And then I went to the United Nations tent, and I actually went on a visit to a refugee camp in Syria, where a 12-year-old daughter showed me around, and it was like being there myself. And when I came back after 15 minutes, I realized, well, they have their tents, they have their food, they have their shelter, but it's so sad there. There's nothing is green, there's no nature. They are extremely bored, these children. Some of them have been living there for 5 or 6 years. So there's this sense of frustration in the camp. That kind of insight you would never get through reports. So that's a good example of a game changer. I experienced it in another way. It was in an engineering company going to Dubai, and they were pitching for a new train wagon, and they came with all their files and all their calculations. And then a competing team came in from Germany, and they had created this virtual reality train wagon where the client could go in there and try out all the features. And this department of the engineering company, they came back and they said, "Oh, Lisa, but we don't even have these people employed in our company. What are we going to do?" So that's exactly how you use the future. The future is already there. It just depends on where you look. So it's very much about working across academic boundaries. It's about working across different businesses, and then all the time asking yourself, and what could the implication be on your company? What is really triggering right now is that the new technologies, they are arriving at an exponential speed. So an exponential curve goes very slow in the beginning, and then it goes extremely fast. And that is so hard for businesses and people to cope with. So you have to imagine you're sitting on this big football stadium, and the first moment there is one drop of water falling into the stadium. The next moment there are 2 drops of water. The next minute there is 4 drops of water. The next minute there are 8 drops of water, 16 drops of water, 32 drops of water. How long do you think it will take for this football stadium to be filled with water if you're sitting on the very top row? Well, the answer is exactly 49 minutes. But the more interesting question is, when is this football stadium half full? And well, the doubling is every minute, so it's after 48 minutes. And that is really what's making it tricky to work with the future, because that means you have to be really interested in what is going on already when you see a little puddle of water at the bottom of this stadium. And it's exactly that. You see small bits of the future, and then you have to start elaborating, saying, well, what will it mean? Be like a whale, it also means you take in a lot of water. You see what kind of plankton is staying. You have to be non-political, and you have to be extremely curious and say, and then what, and then what? And you cannot say, I like this or I don't like that. You have to go through a long phase where you're just spotting trends. In practice, we do that by making you take pictures or finding pictures on the internet, writing 2 lines on the big game changes that you foresee. Then we map them together in hard trends, that are the trends that are coming no matter whether you like it or not. You have no influence, no impact whatsoever. Or soft trends, which are the possibilities for creating the future, of changing things. And what is really interesting about this is that it's a collective process. You do it together with Future Navigator, and we are collecting trends together with people from all over the world, from different businesses. And then you can really see the future almost like a new city emerging. Suddenly you see the same patterns emerging again and again, and these new changes to how we live, organize, and consume. And that's exactly what you need to prepare your anti-crisis strategy. If you want to look at how we do this, you can take courses, we do projects, and we do webinars. And I really look forward to talking to you again. See you soon.